So Bobby Kennedy said the future does not belong to those who are fearful of bold projects and new ideas. Let's break down that first part first. The future, so what's next after something like this? The future does not belong to those who are fearful of bold projects and new ideas. The future does not belong to somebody who's afraid of innovation, actually applying new and creative solutions to old endemic problems. The future does not belong to those who are fearful of bold projects and new ideas, but rather the future belongs to those who can blend, and then he says 3 words: passion, reason, and courage. And where is Dr. Green? Because I want to come out and talk to you, Dr. Green. Where are you? You're back here? Okay, I'm going to come to you, don't worry. She just got an amazing $1 million grant for the work she's doing. She's already proving it with mice, and she's going to move on to human trials. That is the plan. But that is not why you're up right now, Dr. Green. Dr. Green, you're up to actually corroborate something I'm about to say, because these people know I'm not a physicist. They know I'm not Neil deGrasse Tyson. But I'm going to talk about physics for a second, and I need you to just basically, here, take that mic, and you just have to say yes or no if I say something's wrong. But first, please talk about why energy is so important in physics. Why do we see E everywhere in physics?
That's a very good question.
Okay.
Why do we see energy?
Yes.
First of all, when we talk about matter and life, when God breathed life into man.
Okay, don't go back too far, Dr.
No, I'm just saying.
Because we got to keep the program moving.
No.
Okay, get there.
That's
get
the
there.
energy. That's
okay.
the energy.
Okay.
So energy is in everything. It's in you. It's in me. It's in everything. That's why our cell phones work. That's why we have light in the room. Energy is in everything.
So watch this. Dr. Green, would you say it's true that there's a law in physics that said you can't actually move or change a mass that's in stasis or something without applying energy to it?
That is true.
Is that true?
That's true.
And is there also a law in physics, Dr. Green, that says that energy cannot be created or
destroyed?
Okay, so
Yes.
Dr. Green, if I was going to talk about the idea of creating some type of impact or
Yes.
social change, I would have to talk about energy, right?
Yes, and
'Cause
applying a force.
And applying a force. And
Yes.
so let's talk about that real
Yes.
quick. So this quote that I just laid down, it said, the future does not belong to those who are fearful of bold projects and new ideas. So we already said that's innovation,
Yes.
new ideas, creativity.
Yes.
But rather, the future belongs to those who can blend passion, reason, and courage. And I would suggest to you that passion, Dr. Green, really means energy.
Yes.
Passion means energy.
Yes.
Because, Dr. Green, if you don't have passion, if you're not actually trying to solve some problems in the world like you trying to solve cancer, you're not going to get there because you're going to run into a lot of roadblocks, right,
Yes.
Dr. Green?
Yes.
The mice aren't going to do what they're supposed to do all the time.
All the time. You're right.
So you need that kind of energy. But let's talk about, in a physics terms, Dr. Green, what type of energy we need to talk about. Is it also true, Dr. Green, that there's a type of energy that in physics it's called potential energy, Dr.
Yes.
Green? So potential energy is that energy that's sitting around. And if it's true, Dr. Green, that energy cannot be created or destroyed, does that mean
Yes.
that most of us are sitting on a great deal of potential energy?
Absolutely.
So we're sitting on all this potential energy. And then what, Dr. Green, did you go to church when you were young?
Come on. Kinetic energy.
You didn't go to church. Okay. You did?
Kinetic energy.
Good. Stop, Dr. Green. Stop. Dr. Green, what's the first song that a little Dr. Green learns in church? And if you went to a kind of church I went to.
This little
What is
light
it?
of mine.
Yeah, sing it, Dr.
I'm gonna let it shine.
Come on, Dr. Green. This.
Little light
Yes,
of
okay,
mine.
y'all don't have to sing.
Thank you.
That's okay. This isn't Hamilton. So Dr. Green, if we are actually sitting on a great deal of potential energy, if it's true that energy cannot be created or destroyed, what type of energy do we first want to transfer some of our potential energy into?
Kinetic.
No, Dr. Green.
Light.
This Little Light of Mine is a physics song, Dr. Green. Follow where I'm going. It's called radiant energy, Dr. Green.
Yes.
Radiant energy. Radiant energy is the energy of light. So the beautiful thing about light is it does what? It shines light on darkness. So if we
Yes.
see a place where there's injustice,
Yes.
if we see a place where we know there's endemic problems, racism, genderism, all of these isms,
Yes.
we want to shine a light on it.
Lightness and darkness cannot coexist in the same place at the same time.
Okay, Dr. Green, stop. This is my talk. I'm about to take that mic away from you. You just answer questions. That's all you do.
Okay.
You don't add to the conversation. Just answer. So first, we got to transfer some of our potential energy into radiance. We actually have to walk around a little bit more radiant. That's why I love Dr. King so much. Dr. King, he exuded so much radiant energy, and he shined light on injustice. And we can do the same in places like Google, where we just don't have enough brothers in the boardroom. C-suite and sisters. I love sisters too. So, Dr. Green, if we talk about first taking some of our potential energy, creating that radiant energy, then once we have some radiant energy, we want to transfer that energy into energy of action, and it's called what, Dr. Green?
Kinetic energy.
Thank you, Dr. Green. So kinetic energy is the energy of action. It's the energy of actually doing something. Sometimes you have to make rooms uncomfortable. Sometimes you have to make your office uncomfortable. Sometimes you actually have to go in and kick some ass because kinetic energy is required to change things, to have impact. Or else we can just be quietly and allow things to kind of just go on the way they've been going. And go on the way they've been going, and go on the way they've been going. And so, Dr. Green, if we were able to actually take that potential energy, transfer it into fully realized radiant and kinetic energy, I truly believe, and you tell me if you think this is true or not, that this room here could actually change the direction of the world.
Absolutely.
This collective group.
Yes.
And that's all it takes. But most of us won't. Most of us will go back to being safe and go back to the way we've always lived our lives, because there is a power and centrifugal force that brings you back into your old habits and old ways of being. So hopefully by rubbing up on a day like this, we can sort of start to break some of those habits and have a little breakthrough. Give it up for Dr. Green, y'all.